We have a major trade update regarding the Dallas Mavericks and the fact that we know that they're going to choose Cooper Flagg with the number 1 overall pick. We still have a need for another playmaker at the point guard position. And although we do have Brandon Williams at the time of this recording, we still have Jaden Hardy, it is to be expected that those two will share the bulk of the minutes at the starting point guard position. But there was a report that came out just the other day that clarified that the Dallas Mavericks are looking for a point guard this summer to hold things down until Kyrie Irving returns late December, early January. But today we found out from Marc Stein that Lonzo Ball is a name to watch out this summer for the Dallas Mavericks. So, in this video, we're going to take a look at Lonzo Ball. How well did he play last year after missing 2 full seasons? What trade would have to look like for Lonzo Ball to join the Mavericks? And whether or not that's the right choice for the team. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before you start with today's video, if you are one of those 48.3% of viewers that are not subscribed, you gotta fix it. It's the off season, but it's not my off season. I'm bringing you this content as often as possible. So if you don't want to miss a single thing the Mavs do all summer long, make sure you subscribe. But, like I said, the Dallas Mavericks, we still have a need of a playmaking point guard. Yes, we have Brandon Williams, who was amazing for us last season, as we were dealing with many injuries, many illnesses. We were in fear of having to forfeit games because we could barely throw together a 7 or 8 man rotation for the majority of the last few games of the season. And, of course, there is Jaden Hardy. Some would argue he's more of a 2 guard than a 1 guard. And who knows, if we end up keeping Jaden Hardy, we could trade him. There's also Dante Exum and Spencer Dinwiddie, whose contracts have expired, and there's no news whether or not we're going to bring one or either of them back. The Dallas Mavericks could benefit from having another guard. We already have a lot of players at the 4 position. I mean, Cooper Flagg's going to be a small forward. PJ, if he's still here, will also be a small forward / power forward. Anthony Davis does not want to play center. He's also going to play the power forward position. So, and of course, the centers as well. We are going to need guards to help complement this team. If we take a look right here, the Mavericks will be pursuing a point guard this offseason, whether that be in the trade market or free agency, according to Shams. And on this channel, we talked just the other day about Kobe White being a player that a lot of fans want the Mavericks to go out and get. He isn't necessarily a playmaking guard. He is more of a scoring guard, but we could benefit from a player like that. There's a lot of players in this free agency, whether they're unrestricted or restricted, that the Mavericks could go out and get that could help bolster this team before the start of the season and try to just hold things down until Kyrie Irving returns. If we take a look right here, the best guard targets for the Mavericks. The trade targets would be Anthony Simons, Malik Monk, Colin Sexton, and Kobe White, while free agent targets would be Malcolm Brogdon, Dennis Schroeder, and Karis LeVert. Malik Monk and Colin Sexton are the most realistic options in my opinion. So from this list, I don't think any of these would really be a bad idea. A lot of them have a lot of pluses, a lot of minuses, and a lot of reasons why we should, and maybe a few reasons why we shouldn't. Malik Monk wouldn't be that bad. Maybe not the playmaking point guard, another scoring guard, but a good guard nonetheless. Colin Sexton, somewhat in the same vein, but he can still play make. Another player on this list that I've seen a lot of people talk about is Dennis Schroeder. Some people want Dennis Smith Jr., some want the other Dennis and Dennis Schroeder, which again wouldn't be a bad option, a cheap option for the Dallas Mavericks. But Marc Stein on DLS Mavs, when asked specifically about Lonzo Ball being a target for the Mavs, he said, "I would just say he's an interesting name that we need to keep on the radar." And Lonzo Ball is very interesting indeed. For those that don't know, he missed 2 full seasons dealing with a very rare and weird foot injury that required a very rare surgery. And he did come back this season, although he only played 35 games. But how did he look in those 35 games? Well, Lonzo Ball averaged 7.6 points, 3.4 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 0.5 blocks, 1.3 steals, 1.2 turnovers, and 1.6 fouls per game, shooting only 36% from the field and 34% from 3. Not the best shooting averages. His other averages have obviously fallen, but Lonzo Ball, if healthy, and I know the Dallas Mavericks know all about what happens when, if and when we're healthy, but Lonzo Ball, when healthy, is an amazing guard. He's a great playmaker, and above all else, he's an amazing defensive guard. Jrue Holiday is seen as one of the best defensive guards in the NBA, and Lonzo Ball, to some, is seen as one of the better young defensive guards in the NBA. And Lonzo Ball did have to miss 2 seasons because of that foot injury. We just got rid of some of our training staff that really shouldn't be here. So injuries, for the most part, shouldn't be a main concern for the Mavericks, but I do understand you missed 2 full seasons. You come back this season and you had wrist injury after wrist injury after wrist injury to the point where he only played about 35 games. If we take a look right here, Lonzo Ball says his knee did better than expected. He's excited to have his first normal offseason in a while, other than resting his injured wrist for a couple weeks, which he won't need surgery, which is a very good thing. He says he's expecting big things ahead, and hey, maybe those big things are playing for the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, we got Cooper Flagg, we got Anthony Davis, we got Klay Thompson. Lonzo Ball really wouldn't be a bad idea if he stays healthy. I know that's a big if. But if Lonzo Ball were to find his way on the Mavericks and he could stay healthy for the majority of the season, he would be an amazing point guard for the team. He's a playmaker. He does have size and plays great defense. He could actually add more depth to this team. When Kyrie Irving returns, Lonzo Ball could easily be a backup guard. But why would Chicago trade Lonzo? Well, they already have a few guards already. We talked about Kobe White, as he had an amazing season last year. Josh Giddey, looking to command about $150 million in his upcoming contract. They also have Ayo Dosunmu. They also have Lonzo Ball. But out of all of their guards, Lonzo looks like the one that could be moved the most, especially since they almost made the play-in, or they did make the play-in, but they almost made the playoffs this year. They could definitely be looking to try to make another push next year. They do have a first-round pick. They're in the lottery. So a trade for Lonzo Ball wouldn't be that crazy for the Mavericks. If we take a look right here, Lonzo Ball just signed an extension. It was only 2 years, $20 million. He's making $10 million a year. That is absolutely nothing for a player of his caliber. And what would it take to get him? If you take a look at all the contracts on the team, the one trade that I have in mind that would be the cheapest, the easiest, and I think a lot of fans will like it, is Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin is a year older than Lonzo Ball, makes about $9.5 million this upcoming season, so that trade would be absolutely easy. We may have to add a little bit of fluff. We will be in the second apron when we sign Cooper Flagg. I understand that, but Caleb Martin for Lonzo Ball, a one-for-one deal, is, at least money-wise, the best deal. Why would the Bulls want Caleb Martin? Well, he plays a lot of defense. He plays good defense. Maybe not the best scorer, but that eliminates a guard that they don't really need. And in this upcoming draft, there's a lot of good guards. They may actually be looking for another guard, but they do get a small forward/shooting guard, Caleb Martin, just to add more depth to their team. We get Lonzo Ball. Everybody's happy. We may need to include some draft capital. Maybe they want to take Jaden Hardy with them, or maybe Omax. We have a few players that we could try to tack on for that trade to get Lonzo, but I would like that trade. Maybe not the best trade out of any available guard or guards that we could go out and get, but I wouldn't mind getting Lonzo Ball. As we all know by now, defense wins championships, and Lonzo Ball is an amazing defender, like I've already said. He's also a great playmaker when healthy, but that is the key. If and when he is healthy, he does have the full season to rest, just like Anthony Davis, just like the rest of these guys. So if he could stay healthy and avoid injuring his wrist or his feet or knees or anything else that he's been dealing with, I think this could be amazing for the Dallas Mavericks. It would make things kind of interesting, as if we were to trade Caleb Martin for Lonzo, we still have PJ Washington. We're unsure what we're going to do with that situation. Do we extend him? Does he come off the bench? But as far as the guard situation, this would not be that bad. If we take a look at this right here, I'm sorry. If we take a look, oh yeah, no, that's it. So that's it. Lonzo Ball wouldn't be that bad on the Dallas Mavericks. I actually like it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think Lonzo is the right pick for the team, or is there somebody else who's less injury prone that we could go out and get that wouldn't hurt us as bad? Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We could have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. And as always, y'all take care, drink water. Peace.